Alright, so I know I told you guys that we would be doing the Ciel route after we finish the Arcwade route. So here we are. This is the Ciel route, and just so you guys know, I'm not cheating. I am looking at a game guide right now, but that's just so that I can get into the Ciel route because some of the choices you have to make in this game you need to make in order to get into certain routes. So that's really the only reason why I'm looking at this right now. Just so you guys don't think I'm cheating or anything. Some of the choices, most of the choices I'm going to make though are going to be, like my own choices and all that. So that being said, let's go ahead and get into this. This is the second route of Tsukihime. This is the Ciel route. And just so you guys know, there are going to be some repeated scenes in some of these routes. Some of these scenes you're probably going to have seen before. There is not much I can do about that. I could skip over them, but that's really up to you guys. If you don't want to see me read some of these scenes over again, then just tell me in the comments or something. Other than that, I'll just, I don't see much of a point. I'll just go ahead and read the scenes again because there are some differences. But, let's just go ahead and get into this. This is Ciel. This is the Ciel route. Clang, clink, clong. A half-rhythmical ringing comes from one corner of the courtyard. What is that? Homeroom begins in less than 10 minutes. I don't have time to stop and find out, but I'm pretty curious right now. Okay, so if you guys remember, the first choice we made in the Arcade route was to go to homeroom. But instead, this time, we're going to go take a look and see what Ciel's up to. Or whoever's making that noise, and I'm pretty sure you guys can already assume who it is if you have watched my playthrough of the first route. The source of the noise soon becomes apparent as I walk towards the courtyard. A female student is crouching in the middle of the tree-lined path, while working with a hammer and nails. What is she doing? There are only a few minutes left until homeroom. Maybe she doesn't have a watch. At the moment, that's the best I can come up with. Still, to notice and then ignore her would be somewhat cruel. I approach her unhurriedly, trying not to surprise her and speak. Hey, homeroom is starting soon. Huh? The squatting girl raises her face. The ribbon on her uniform displays the color of a third year. The older student looks at me while holding her hammer. Her gaze through those glasses is so direct I feel like I'm being pulled in. I wonder why that is. Hint, hint. Her serious eyes make me want to apologize for bothering her. The splint she was facing is rotten beyond use. Come to think of it, our school's rear courtyard is in a terrible state of disrepair. The splints are neglected and the flower beds are untended. Apparently, the teachers intend for the students to conduct a big cleanup at the end of the year, so the maintenance men have done nothing since summer. I take in the situation with a single glance. The girl with the hammer is repairing the broken down splints, paying no mind to the fact that her tidy uniform is being dirtied. She has sweat on her brow, and it looks like she had been swinging her hammer in a most serious manner. But as far as I know, there is nobody in charge of repairing public property at this school. What is it? The older student asks, adjusting her crooked glasses. It's nothing. I was just wondering what you were doing. As you can see, I'm in the middle of fixing splints. Fixing the splints. Yeah, I can see that. That's not what I meant. I was wondering why you were doing something like this. Won't the maintenance people take care of it anyway? Foolishness! The older student laughs to hide her embarrassment.
I'm the kind of person who can't stand seeing a mess like this. I just can't leave them alone.
It seems as though she is repairing the splints because she just couldn't let them stay that way. What an odd senpai. That's why you're fixing it on your own? If you don't like the mess, why not just avoid coming here?
Well, my classroom is over there.
Senpai points at the second floor classroom facing the courtyard.
My seat is next to the window, so it's easy for me to see the courtyard. Well, I usually just bear it, but when I took my seat today, I was surprised to see all the splints in this area were broken.
Senpai's face is clouded, as if to say,
"Isn't that terrible?"
Apparently, she's upset, although she doesn't look seriously angry. You know what they say, strike when the... Oh, wait, okay, that was her.
You know what they say, strike when the iron is hot and all. I borrowed the tools from the office and decided to fix them myself.
And so, the explanation ends. Making a bow, Senpai returns to hammering the nails. Alright, I understand all that, but how about we leave it here for now? Homeroom is in less than 5 minutes, and if it's this bad, won't the school get around to fixing it pretty soon?
No way!
Gripping her hammer, the senpai with the glasses shakes her head furiously.
I won't be able to concentrate with the garden like this, even if I go to class. It'll just sound like nonsense to me, and then the teacher will say, "Hey you, what are you staring at?" I'll get yelled at for sure.
Senpai continues to grip the hammer while she emphasizes her point. Well, I suppose the teacher would be upset if you kept looking outside.
He would, wouldn't he? That's why I have to do it now.
With that, Senpai begins her repairs once again, clumsily hammering away. Something tells me she probably doesn't know how to use a fucking hammer. She's obviously not used to using a hammer. Yeah, exactly, she's wise. Clank, clank, rings the hammer as it hits the wood. That's not a clanking sound, but it's as close as I can get. By the looks of it, there isn't just one or two broken splints. I can't begin to guess how long it will take for her to repair all of them on her own. The bell begins to ring. Looks like first period started. I give up, considering things have gotten to this point. I sit down silently and begin to help repairing the splints. You're late, motherfucker. Get to class. Once I begin to help, I quickly realize mending them isn't that difficult after all. Although the older student is not used to making repairs, she's quite skillful anyway. She's already gotten the hang of it, and work is proceeding at a brisk pace. Senpai's movements are quick and sharp, and I enjoy watching her. She really is quite clever. Before I know it, there is only one splint left to repair. 30 minutes have passed. I can't stay here any longer, and only one more would be no problem for Senpai. Well, I'll be going. I stand up and dust off my pants. The student with the glasses also stands up and begins to stare at me. I can't let you do that, Tuno. What? Come to think of it, just who is she? I hadn't given it any thought because of what I was doing, but when I stopped to consider her, I realized she is quite beautiful. Someone this good looking would be known by every male student. They'd be talking about a third-year beauty. I have to go. Don't work too hard, Senpai. She gives an obedient nod. Even though she's older than me, it's almost like dealing with someone younger.
Thank you for helping me. I'm glad you did.
She makes a quick bow.
I'll be sure to come say hello during lunch. Ah, don't forget to wash your hands, Tono-kun.
You too, Senpai. Wait a minute. With that, I wave my hand and leave. Wait. Huh? Have I met you before, Senpai? Senpai cries out in surprise, and mischievously puts on a depressed face.
Tono-kun, you've forgotten about me.
What?
Forgotten? No, I don't think so. If I'd ever met a beautiful woman like her, there'd be no way I'd forget. She looks at me reproachfully. Those eyes, I'm sure I remember them from somewhere, don't I? Come to think of it, we had exchanged greetings once or twice before, hadn't we? I don't think so, Tono. Ciel Senpai, isn't it? Apprehensively, I suggest her name. Yes, and I'm glad you remembered. You seem the type to space out and forget, Tono-kun. I don't think I space out, but there's nothing I can do about the fact that I forgot. See you later then. Sorry for keeping you. Ciel Senpai bows again. I watch her go, then start to walk towards the school building. When I reach my class, it's already break after first period. I slip into the room while everyone's busy talking. Subtle. My desk is the window seat in the very back row, so I can sneak there without drawing any attention. And, when attendance is taken in the second period, everyone will probably say, "Hey, when did Tono get here?" It's a strange quirk in an otherwise dull class. But I guess that plan won't work this time, because of a certain somebody. Yo, truant boy! It's totally unlike you to be late. I sigh. It feels like reality is being hammered back into me after the pleasant time I spent with Senpai. What's with that sour face of yours? Being late when I'm actually on time? What do you think you're doing? Yeah, it's always the other way around, isn't it? Hey, listen, I'm not coming to school for your sake, you know. What? But I'm coming to school for your sake. That's so unfair. Words fail me. I wonder, like I have many times before, how I ended up knowing this guy. His hair dyed orange, his ears pierced, his vicious glaze that screams he will pick a fight with anyone, anytime, and his wearing of rebellious clothes. Inoue Arihiko is the only free-spirited outlaw in your university-oriented high school. I am just, you know what, guys? Reading these visual novels have shown me that I can pronounce words in ways that I never thought I could pronounce words before, which is unbelievable, but, you know, yeah. You learn something new about yourself, I guess, every day. We've been bitter enemies since middle school, right? If you make a carefree face like that in front of your rival, you better be prepared for trouble. In any case, Arihiko is a loud guy. Yo! Morning, Tono! Before I know it, everyone in class is looking my way and greeting me. Shut up, Arihiko. You're ruining my chance to slip into class unnoticed. And why am I your rival, anyway? There are plenty of other tough guys around, so stop bothering me. Well, he still owes me close to 10,000 yen for middle school. Jesus Christ. I don't know how much that is in Japanese currency, but wow. From middle school, so I guess that does make him my enemy. Why are you only mean to me, Tono? You're like a saint to everyone else. It's not fair. What, you just figured that out? Life's not fair. You really are only mean to me, Tono. Or you really are only mean to me. I didn't try particularly hard to be called to Arihiko. That's just the kind of relationship we have. By the way, Arihiko, what's a chronically late night owl who never shows up until second period doing here in homeroom? It's a little... No, it's very odd. I was thinking that too. I guess being at school on time isn't just for when I happen to wake up early. Well, I won't comment on your hobbies, but what I'm asking is why you woke up early. Why I woke up early? I guess it's because I can't stay out late since all the fuss started, so I actually go to sleep at night now. You've heard the stories about those serial killings, haven't you? Serial killings? I see. Come to think of it, I did hear something like that. I feel a tinge of regret at needing Arihiko to remind me. For the past 2 or 3 days, I'd been debating whether or not to return to the Tono household, so I completely lost touch with the news. What was that again? They've given it some really nasty name, like the freakish serial killings or something.
There's more to it. So far, all the victims have been young girls. The 8th victim was only 2 days ago. And to top it all off, they were all... Wait, what happened to them again?
Arihiko tilts his head in contemplation. I'm an idiot for asking him.
Yeah, I remember now. All the victims had cross-shaped slashes on their throats.
No, Inoue-kun. Everyone who was killed lost a lot of blood.
Oh yeah, that was it. They said it's some kind of modern-day vampire or something.
You sure know a lot about this, Yumizuka-san. Not really. It's happening in this town, so it's in the news. You'd remember it even if you didn't want to. I see. I thought it was happening in the neighboring town, but I guess it moved down here.
Well, anyway, that's what happened. Even I wouldn't be going on the streets at night with a killer walking around. That's why I've been waking up at 7 lately.
What, that's it? Having a good reason doesn't make a good story. Where's the fun in that? I sit down while dealing with Arihiko.
Man, you're cold. What, did you collapse from anemia already this morning?
I'm alright, thanks for asking. If I was anemic 24 hours a day, I'd be dead by now.
Yeah, you're right. If you say you're okay, then I guess you're okay.
The bell rings while we're talking. Hey, class is about to begin. Hurry up and get back to your seat.
Yeah, alright. Oh, by the way, we'll have lunch in the cafeteria instead of on the roof. I've invited a special guest, so look forward to it.
Special guest, in quotations. With a scheming laugh, Arihiko returns to his seat. See you later, Tono-kun. Ah, yeah. Sorry for keeping you, Yumizuka-san. Her light footsteps tap across the floor as she returns to her desk. But it's still a mystery to me why she joined our conversation. She's just our classmate. Mysterious. It's like, I wonder why. Maybe she might like you, Tono. Hint, hint. More hints. Hints are everywhere, but Tono's too dense to realize. It's lunchtime. Now then, where should I eat lunch? Alright, well, I'm not gonna pretend that I'm actually making a decision about this. Let's just go ahead and do as the guide says. We need to go out to the hallway. During lunchtime, the hall is packed. Students head to the cafeteria or to their favorite places, lunch is in hand. Caught in the flow of people, I contemplate whether I should go to the cafeteria or the store. I'm somewhat taken aback at my own leisure. If I have time to waste, it'd be better to go to the cafeteria where Arihiko is. God damn it. I begin walking towards the cafeteria. On the way there, a familiar face waves and runs up to me. Thank goodness. I've been looking for you, Tono-kun. Oh, Ciel senpai. Hello. I feel embarrassed for some reason and return her usual greeting. God, what is up with her face there? It seriously looks like she's just like up to something. Yes, hello. Well, we've already met once today, so I guess it's not proper to say hello. A small smile floats onto Senpai's face, as if she found something amusing. Yeah, now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I avert my eyes and give a lukewarm reply, becoming increasingly embarrassed. I wonder. I should be used to speaking to Senpai like this, but for some reason, I'm getting embarrassed. Tono-kun? Do you have some urgent business? You seem a bit unsettled. No, nothing like that. I don't, but for some reason, her every move feels unfamiliar. I can't calm down. It's nothing. More importantly, Senpai, you said you were looking for me. Do you need something? Well, I wanted to thank you for this morning, so I was looking for you. For this morning? Ah, you mean in the courtyard. Of course. Voice crack. Sorry to ask, but are you going to have lunch? I sigh. Well, people usually eat at lunchtime. Eat lunch at lunchtime. Durr. Great. Then we can eat together. I'll treat you as thanks for this morning. Let's go to the cafeteria. Eh? Senpai smiles. Grabbing my wrist, she starts to walk. It's strange enough for a third year like Senpai to walk down the second year hall, but this attracts even more attention. The gazes of the students in the hall fall upon Senpai and me, and a murmur of conversation starts. Wait just a second. It's alright, you don't have to. I quickly shake her off my arm. I only did what I did this morning on a whim. There's no need for you to thank me. I draw back from Senpai, well aware of how flushed my face is. There's no need to be reserved. Work should be rewarded. So please, let me treat you. Senpai grabs a hold of my arm again. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean, I just couldn't say that I'm embarrassed to be with her because I stand out so much. Because we stand out so much. Come on, there won't be any seats left if we don't hurry. I'll listen to the details after we get to the cafeteria. Senpai starts walking, pulling my arm with a tug. Any further questions would bring more stress from the people around us in the hall. Stares from the people around us, god damn it. Fuck. I don't know what Senpai is planning, but I peacefully accompany her to the cafeteria. Bring more stress from people around us in the hall doesn't even make fucking sense. What the hell am I talking about? God. Sometimes, again, guys, I've mentioned this before, but sometimes I read things and then I think about it later and I just think to myself, well, that makes absolutely no sense, so I obviously misread it, and it usually turns out that I misread it. Almost all the seats in the cafeteria are taken. I had spent about 10 minutes in the hallway, first spaced out, then talking with Senpai. So empty cafeteria seats are pretty much non-existent. I'll stand in line, Tono-kun, so please go get some seats. Is there any food you don't like? If there is, now's the time for you to let me know. Nope, there isn't. I'm not picky with food. Very well. I won't take long. Senpai lines up with everyone else. It seems my only choice is to obediently accept that she'll be treating me. But there aren't any seats left. I look around the bustling cafeteria. You can't find 2 seats at this hour, let alone 2 seats to get there. I sigh. There, plain as day, is a table with not only 2, not 3, but 4 unaccompanied seats. There's only one student sitting at the table, and it seems he noticed me while I was looking around for a seat. Yo, Tono! The student vigorously waving his hand is my dear classmate with the dyed orange hair. Just like Ichigo. My head hurts. But there isn't anywhere else to sit, but I have no choice but to return to the wave and walk towards the table where my friend is sitting. Return the wave, excuse me. You're late. I told you to hurry because I've invited a special guest today. What the hell have you been up to? Arihiko begins to complain as soon as we are face to face. Yeah, come to think of it, you did. So, who is it? About that. She promised me yesterday she'd come, but she declined this morning. She said she had someone she wanted to thank or something, so she'd be busy this lunchtime. Arihiko sighs as he eats chikara udon. Someone she wanted to thank. Those words catch my attention. Uh-oh. Arihiko, that special guest wouldn't happen to be a third-year student, would she? Whoa! Arihiko's body jumps in shock. A rather energetic girl wearing glasses. Whoa! Arihiko begins quivering. The students at the tables around us stand up as if to make a fast escape. Are you a psychic? Arihiko points at me fearfully. No, that doesn't mean I'm psychic. Sorry to keep you waiting. Good to see you found a seat, Tono-kun. There. Senpai arrives with a smile, carrying a silver tray. What? Arihiko's eyes are wide in surprise. Huh? Inoue-kun? What a coincidence! Still smiling, Senpai takes her seat. Arihiko gives a choked response. Here you go, Tono-kun. Please, eat until you're full. Even after all this time, I still can't shake off her smile. Alright. In that case, thanks for the food. Taking Arihiko's dumbfounded stare in stride, I sit down. Senpai sits in front of me while Arihiko sits beside me. Itadakimasu! Putting my hands together with a clap, I look down at the tray Senpai brought. And on the menu is curry rice, and curry udon. I don't get it. Senpai? Yes? What is it, Tono-kun? About this, what's going on? What do you mean? It's lunch, isn't it? What else does it look like? What else? You say, but all I see is curry. Yes, it's curry. Senpai laughs happily. The problem is, they all look like curry. There's 3 dishes. Of course. You're a boy, so you eat a lot. I'll have just one, so please take whatever you like. Okay. In that case, I'll take the curry rice and curry udon. The other choice is hell. What? Make sure to finish it, Tono-kun. After all, you aren't picky with food, are you? There isn't a shred of antagonism in Senpai's smile, nor is this some kind of a joke. She truly has good intentions. Yes. Itadakimasu. I dig into the curry rice with my spoon in despair. And then... Tono-kun! From beside me came the cry of a dead man being reborn. How long are you going to ignore your dear best friend? Arihiko's elbow sinks into the side of my stomach with a thud. Eh? Inoue-kun, do you know Tono-kun? Do I know him? We've been best friends since middle school. My best friend hits the table with a bang for emphasis. Really? The person who helped me this morning was Tono-kun. Oh yeah? If you had told me his name, I would have brought him here, so... I would have brought him here, so did this guy do something for you? Yes, he helped me to fix my splints. Huh? He helped you fix your shin splints? Arihiko frowns suspiciously. Well, I guess you would consider helping someone fix their shin splints a bit odd. No, fixing splints. Please don't make me angry when I'm eating. Ciel Senpai gets angry. She seems to be someone you can never tire of watching. Fixing splints? Ah, the splints in the courtyard. You were at it again? You sure enjoy that kind of thing, Senpai, but you'd be better off if you give up. If you gave up. If you keep doing things like that, the teachers will start expecting you to do them. That's alright. I do it because I enjoy it. You shouldn't talk about the teachers like that, though, you know. They really care about the school. I'm finding it difficult to follow their conversation. Senpai, don't tell me you normally do that sort of thing.
Yeah! Didn't you know, Tono? Ciel Senpai is so handy they call her the Shadow President of the Student Council. No, I was asking Senpai. Not you, Arihiko.
Wait, never mind. What on earth is the Shadow President? Is she strong? I ask with my eyes.
Yeah, responds Arihiko with an exaggerated nod. She's quite something. She's quite something, totally unlike the Student Council, which is the Student Council in name only. She's a third year who will solve anything for you if you ask her. Even got a fan club among the first years. And if something happens, the teachers all rely on her. There isn't a single teacher who complains about what Senpai does. She has a fan club? Arihiko speaks with pride, as if he was actually talking about himself. Wow, Ciel Senpai sure is amazing. Even the teachers rely on you. I look at Senpai, impressed.
Yes. Thank you.
Senpai turns bright red, embarrassed.
Senpai churns her curry rice with her spoon. I guess it's to hide her embarrassment, but it reminds me of the enemy I have to face. Curry rice by itself is fine, but after that awaits curry udon, which is disgusting. My doctor warned me not to eat too much, but I don't think there's anything else in this situation that I can do. In this situation. So I start to dig into the rice. Munch, munch. Having decided to try to finish one dish quickly, I direct all my concentration to the rice. Meanwhile, Senpai and Arihiko begin talking about their own homes for some reason. I already know that Arihiko doesn't live with his parents, but it seems Senpai is also living by herself. Apparently, Senpai's apartment is quite close to the school. It's roughly between the main street and the park. So, Tono-kun, where do you live? Huh? Oh, no, nowhere, just this big-ass mansion. I silently eat my food when Senpai, peering at me, asks a completely unrelated question. Where? Why do you ask, Senpai? You already heard where I live, right, Tono-kun? I think it's unfair if I don't know where your house is. Unfair? You worry about the strangest things, Senpai. It's not strange. If I don't know where you live, I can't visit you if something happens, right? I stop eating the curry rice. I have the feeling that something has been said that I should be jubilant about. Visit? You mean you'd come and visit me if I catch a cold or something? No, I wouldn't. Well, that's... wow. I don't have any plans to visit at the moment. Smiling, Senpai replies instantly as if stating the obvious. It seems like the euphoria is premature. Senpai doesn't seem to have any unusual intentions. I wouldn't be so sure. I see now. That's just the way she is. I guess I have to... Okay, I don't know. Who's talking right now? Okay, that's no. I guess I have to tell you. Yeah, my house is nearby too. Only a 40-minute walk. There's a residential district on top of the hill, right? Just a little further and you're there. Oh yeah! You're moving today, right? Arihiko strikes his hand on the desk. Senpai tilts her head slightly. Moving? Tono-kun, were you a transfer student? Huh? Senpai asks a strange question. Arihiko meets my gaze. Listen, I've been here since the first year. We've known each other since then, right? Why are you asking me if I'm a transfer student now? But Tono-kun, you moved yesterday, so... Moving doesn't automatically make you a transfer student. I'm just changing my address, not my school. Until now, I've been living with some relatives in the neighboring town. I'm just going back to my real home, that's all. Senpai, who wears a look of surprise, seems to understand. I see. You've only changed your residence. So, now you live in the outskirts of town. Yeah. It's that colorful place on top of the hill. I'm moving there today. Huh. Could that possibly be the Tono-san mansion? Senpai asks with some hesitation. The Western-style house at the top of the hill is probably seen as something special by residents of the town. I haven't been there for 8 years, but even in my memories, the Tono mansion was ridiculously large. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's the right place for me either, but it's too late now that I'm done moving.
You don't seem too happy about it.
It's neither good nor bad, but I don't quite understand it either.
Well, even if it is your house, it's been 8 years, right? I can understand if you're feeling strange. It'll probably feel like someone else's house for a while.
I wonder if that's so. I haven't gone back yet, so I don't know. Well, I'm a bit relaxed since I've always got a refuge at your place.
Yeah, right. My house is no refuge of yours. When you come over during the holidays, my sister treats you better than me.
That's probably only because Arihiko has terrible behavior, but I refrain from telling him that in the interest of preventing the conversation from getting any worse. To be honest, it's not pleasant to have my home raised as a topic of conversation. Wow, you two certainly get along well, Senpai peers at Arihiko and me.
No way! Me and Tono would never help each other, no matter how much trouble we were in. In other words, we're enemies, mademoiselle.
Arihiko says in a fed-up tone. I'm getting pretty fed up with his pseudo-foreignerisms too. Arihiko is the farthest thing from being French. But your relationship is so good that Tono-kun has stayed over at your house before, right? Doesn't that mean you get along really well?
You're wrong, Senpai. That damn Tono is too reserved towards his parents, and he'd come over to my place every vacation. He's reserved towards them because they're taking care of him. That's why he comes over to my place, where we conveniently have an empty room. Since he looks pretty decent, my sister took a liking to him, and he shamelessly comes to stay with us without paying a cent. Arihiko's fist trembles as if to say, unforgivable.
Taking care of Tono-kun.
Arihiko clamps a hand over his mouth. Sorry. I should have thought before I spoke.
It's okay. You didn't say anything bad. I continue to eat my food without looking at Arihiko.
Really? Yeah, you're right. If you complained about that, you'll be in for some punishment.
Arihiko nods to himself in agreement. His overwhelming optimism is something I'm truly envious of. I'm sorry, Tono-kun. Did you not get along with your previous family? No, that's not it. He has no problem with the Arimas. Oh fuck, damn it, Arihiko's talking.
No, that's not it. He has no problem with the Arimas. Oh, the Arimas were the family who took care of him. They're really nice people, and from what I could tell, they're a happy family. Even so, he refused to be their adopted kid, and he escaped to my place every vacation. Sheesh, just what were you not satisfied with anyway?
There's nothing I wasn't satisfied about. It's just that I've received so much from them already. I didn't want to be a further burden on them. I finish my rice as I reply. Now, only the curry udon is left. It's okay, Senpai. Sorry for making you listen to something so boring. Not at all. I'm sorry for asking you something so strange. Senpai forces herself to look cheerful. The topic might be fine for a long-time friend like Arihiko, but a complex matter like this would only have been troublesome for Senpai. And to prove my point, Senpai sits there uneasily.
Ah, Senpai. Sorry, but I've got something private to talk to Tono about. Would you mind leaving?
Arihiko has no problems making such an offensive request. Isn't that phrase an indirect, no, a direct way of saying, we don't want you, Senpai, so get lost?
You idiot!
What do you think you're saying? We can discuss those things anywhere. And Senpai is still finishing her lunch. Despite all the talking with Arihiko, Senpai has finished her rice anyway. No, I understand. Well then, I'll be leaving. Senpai lowers her head in a quick bow and leaves. Only Arihiko and I remain at the table. I sigh. Well, looks like Senpai was having a hard time too, so it was for the best. But you were really pushing it there, Arihiko.
Well, it's not like I had a choice. Anyways, I guess I'll take the role of the guy she ends up disliking. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Arihiko slurps away at his Chikara udon. It seems it has gone cold while we were talking to Senpai. Sorry, you were trying to hit on Senpai, weren't you? Just like every girl he probably comes into contact with. Of course. She's probably the #1 girl at our school. But if she's the type to care about something like that, then she's not worth it. Oh yeah, I really do have something to talk to you about in private. What? Arihiko's voice turned serious. I split my chopsticks with a snap and begin to eat my udon. What's wrong? Why so serious all of a sudden? Why so serious, Arihiko? I'll let you know right now that I don't have any money. From today onwards, I'm going to be living a life as a penniless student. It's not that, damn it. What I want you to know is this. What's really going on with you, Tono? Or what I want to know is this. What do you mean? You've been at the Arimas since primary school, right? I don't know why, but it's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he calling you back all of a sudden? I see. In his own strange way, Arihiko is worried about me. He didn't disinherit me. He just kicked me out of the house somehow. Tono-kun, if there was ever a family that kicked their kid out of their house somehow, that's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. Oh, it's partly a joke, but it's so boring it's not funny. Arihiko spreads his arms and shrugs. Yeah, whoever wrote that forgot to put the A in there, so that throws me off sometimes, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, all you can really do is laugh. And then he said some cliche line like, "Never step foot in this house again," or something, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I've never heard why you were disinherited. Who knows? That's something I'd like to know too. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Fuck. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Grabbing his bowl with both hands, Arihiko drains what is left of his Chikara udon. Lunchtime is short, but it felt like a fucking eternity because of all what I had to read there. God, I'm even fucking using the wrong, using past tense of read when I'm talking. I'm like tripping over my words now even though I'm not reading anything. That's how bad this has gotten. Following Arihiko, I decided to quickly finish my curry udon. The last class of the day ends. I don't feel like going to the mansion right away, so I just blankly stare out the window, overlooking the school grounds. The classroom is dyed orange by the sunset. It's like a red watercolor paint,
and it hurts my eyes. I don't like red. It feels like it soaks deep into the back of my eyes and I want to throw up. It seems I'm weak against things that resemble blood. No, I should say I'm weak against blood itself. 8 years ago, I had a near-death experience. I was in an accident where I was injured in the chest and I teetered between life and death for days. I should have died instantly. But, miraculously, I survived. Maybe it's because of the great medical treatment. However, the injuries were so severe that I don't even remember the accident. 8 years ago, when I was a child, I felt a thud pass right through the middle of my chest, then I passed out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. All I could remember afterwards was the pain and the cold. I don't remember much of the accident, but even today, the scar on my chest remains. I guess numerous fragments of glass pierced my chest, leaving burn-like scars there and in my back. Actually, I was quite surprised at being saved. Ever since then, I frequently collapsed from anemia-like dizziness and caused a lot of trouble for others. Maybe that's why my old man believed I was unfit to be the heir of the Tono household and entrusted me to our relatives. The wound on my chest, huh? The huge scar in the middle of my chest, hidden from view by my uniform. Now that I think about it, after the accident was when I started to see those lines. I'm able to forget them thanks to the glasses that Sensei gave me. But I think I would have completely gone mad if I had never met her. Keiko-san, the person who had been my mother up until now, said when I left that the Tono household wasn't normal. No problem. I'm not a normal person myself. Adjusting my crooked glasses, I pick up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Now then. More choices. Let's see here. Get a hold of myself and go back to the mansion, or we should stay in school for a little longer. I don't think anybody wants to stay in school for a little bit longer. Well, no. That's, the guide says we should do that, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. Fuck. Why the fuck would I want to stay in school? I want to go home. As soon as I step out into the hallway, I run into a familiar face. Huh? What's up, senpai? Do you have some business here at the school, at the second-year classrooms? Yes. Business with a second-year student, to be precise. Ciel senpai approaches with a smile. Listen, I have some nice snacks here, but no one to talk to. It would be a waste to eat them all by myself, so I came to catch up on an idle-looking person, catch an idle-looking person to talk to. Catch up on, fuck. I come up with these sentences in my head that aren't even there. Fucking Jesus Christ. Someone to talk to. But there's no one left in the classroom. It's the same with all the other classes, too. You don't usually come to the second-year classrooms anyway, do you? You're on the lower floor, right? And if she wanted someone to talk to, aren't there plenty of third-year classmates she could talk to? She really didn't need to come all the way up here. Shouldn't you think about asking your third-year classmates? Conversation probably would be better. What did that say? Conversation would probably be better. Why the... God! Everything is going wrong today. Everything. Yes, but today I'm in the mood to talk to younger guys. Oh! She's into that, is she? Please don't ask for a reason. It's just on a whim. Well, I won't ask. I probably wouldn't be able to understand even if she told me. Senpai's smile disappears as she stares into my face. Are you free right now, Tono-kun? Well, if having nothing to do means I'm free, then I'm definitely free. Senpai grabs a hold of my sleeve. Well then, you are now caught. Let's go have some tea. Oh my god. Senpai invites me with a smile. There's no reason for me to decline the offer, and besides, it should be fun talking with Senpai. Sure, I'll come along if it's okay with you. Then it's decided. Alright, let's go. Still holding onto my sleeve, she begins walking down the hall with a light gait. Wow. Our school has a room like this? Could it be for the tea ceremony club? Yes, it's the tea ceremony club's room for now. It seems like it hasn't been used up until I came, though. Senpai steps into the tatami mat and starts preparations with a rattling noise. A club room, huh? If that's the case, won't the other club members be coming? It'd be bad for an outsider like me to be here, right, Senpai? It's okay. It may be the tea ceremony club, but there aren't any other members except for me. Thanks to that, I can use it freely during break time and after school. Here we go. Smiling, Senpai begins spreading the cushions.
I can see where this is going.
Tea is tea, but it looks like this is really going to be a serious tea ceremony. To be honest, I'm a bit overwhelmed.
Senpai, I don't have the slightest clue what to do.
What are you talking about? I only know up to the pouring bit myself. With that blunt reply, Senpai put the teapot, some cups, and some tea cakes onto a plate. Tea cakes? It's probably some Japanese food. I've never heard of tea cakes before. We were just going to have a casual conversation, so there's no need to be so formal. It isn't any fun that way, is it? Smiling softly, Senpai pours tea into her own cup. I just don't get you, Senpai. Mumbling, I pour my own tea. I slurp some. Picking up the tea cake and putting it into my mouth, I sip again at the tea. God damn it, Tono. I was never involved with it, but the Arima family is a prominent tea ceremony family. Being raised in a household like that, I'm used to drinking tea and doing nothing. Senpai looks at me with a somewhat troubled expression. What's wrong, Senpai? You look a bit unhappy. I was just a little surprised at how calm you were about all this, Tono-kun. Really? Well, my family is a strict one, so I'm used to these kinds of things. More importantly, Senpai, didn't you have something you wanted to talk to me about? I do. The continuation of what we were talking about during lunch. What we were talking about during lunch? You mean about my family? Senpai nods to indicate a yes. If you don't mind, I would like to hear more about it. I was curious about it since we stopped halfway. It's not that I mind, but hearing about my family isn't very interesting. It'd be a waste of time. I don't mind if it's not interesting, I just want to hear about it. You sure are eccentric, Senpai. Maybe I am, Senpai laughs. Alright then. Let's continue from before. You said you moved to your home. What do you mean by that? Senpai asks, full of curiosity. Well, the conversation this afternoon must have been pretty fragmented for Senpai, since she didn't know any of the circumstances. Let's see. Basically, I'm a guy who's been disinherited. I was seriously injured after getting caught up in a traffic accident when I was 9 years old. The injuries themselves somehow healed, but after that, I easily collapsed from anemia and threw up my food. That's why I was entrusted to my relatives, the Arimas, while I recuperated. Ah, so in other words, the Arimas have been your parents who raised you since you were 9, right? That's right. I knew my old man hated me for some reason, and that once I had been entrusted to the Arimas, I would never go back home. Go back to the Tono mansion, that is. That's why, well, I thought I'd just continue to live as the son of the Arimas forever. That's what I thought, but my old man kicked the bucket recently. That's when they told me to return to the mansion now that my old man is no longer there, and I finally agreed to them. And that pretty much is my domestic situation. I end my story like that. Ciel-senpai gives a little nod silently. May I just ask one thing? Sure, if I can answer it. Go ahead. Alright, then I'll ask. Did you dislike your previous family? My previous family? The Arimas who had raised me as my parents? My mother and father who weren't my real parents, and this unfamiliar building which, without a doubt, was home to strangers. But completely regardless of that, no, I liked them. There were people who didn't care that I wasn't related to them by blood. They were so warm to me that I felt bad about being depressed all by myself. And for them to love me no matter what, I didn't think it was a bad thing. I was loved by these people. That's why soon, even one day sooner, I have to truly become family to them. I had been telling myself these words since I was young. Those words. Since a very, very long time ago. Over and over, I swore till I would practically pass out. Just like Arihiko said, I didn't have a single complaint about the Arima family. They treated me well, and I think I responded to their affection too. Between us, even though I knew we were just playing at being family, even if it was all just an act, I didn't feel any pain. No, I was happy instead. In a way, I had considered the Arima parents and me to be the ideal nuclear family. But it was no good, was it? Yeah. Despite everything, there was a line I couldn't cross. This isn't your real family. No matter what I did, I couldn't get those words out of my head. I knew I should have been ignoring it, but I just couldn't do it. I don't know if you'd call it a childhood experience, but it had already become like a curse to me. Somehow, no matter where I was, I felt like a stranger to my family. Senpai is silent. Avoiding my gaze, she huddles her shoulders apologetically.